What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Francisco Lindor, one of my favorite players of all time, made me and other Guardians fans shed many tears. Aaron Judge, he is yet again on pace for another 50 home run season, even though he missed a bunch of games with a hip injury. And we also saw a crazy web gem in the A's and Astros game that kind of saved the A's. But did they win? We'll check it out. Remember, everyone, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, save yourself 20 bucks off on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy, and remember to hit that subscribe button. We are still on the road to 500,000 subs. All right, here we go. The Mets and the Guardians. I think this was the first ever rematch of Lindor versus his old team, and no, this game did not hurt me at all. Okay, maybe that Josh Naylor 3-run home run actually hurt me, a Guardians fan, because I loved Cookie. That is Carlos Carrasco, so that 3-run home run kind of just confirms that Carrasco might be washed as of right now because he has had one of the worst seasons in baseball. But here comes the Mets. Rookie Francisco Alvarez, it looks like he swings a 35-inch hammer. He wallops another home run. Brett Baty and Josh Naylor, they traded runs. Baty on his 4th home run of the season and Naylor on a 2-run single to make it a 4-run lead going into the bottom of the 7th. Of course that happened. Pete Alonso embarrasses James Karinchak. James has allowed like 6 or 7 home runs in 19 innings. Pete Alonso goes the other way for his 17th home run. He is on pace for a 60 home run season. Gabriel Arias, he isn't on pace for 60, but that is a huge home run to put Cleveland up by 2. And now it's Emmanuel Clase time, which means, I mean, nothing really, because he is not the same guy this year. He leads MLB in blown saves and saves. Rookie Mark Vientos and Francisco Alvarez, they team up to tie it on 2 singles, and yeah, there it is. Francisco Lindor so far in 2023 is absolutely dusting Andres Gimenez, so let me know in the comments down below. Who do you think won this trade? Is it still a win-win because of how good Andres wasn't, or is it still kind of even because of how bad Carlos Carrasco has been in 2023, despite how bad Andres has been? We had another first-time reunion. Xander Bogaerts and the Red Sox. He was so good for them. He won 2 World Series with Boston. He honestly played like a Hall of Famer in the making, and so far, him leaving hasn't affected the Red Sox one bit. Rafael Devers hit 2 home runs versus San Diego, the first one being a solo shot, and sandwiched in between the home runs was a Rob Refsnyder 2-run double. The dude is hitting like 350 versus lefties this year. There's Devers' second of the day, an absolute moonshot if you ask me. 13 home runs, 44 RBIs after that 435-foot tater. And just for fun, I want to show Tatis and his home run because he has 6 home runs and 3 stolen bases in his first 25 games. But that was all the Big Maple was allowing yesterday. James Paxton, he's back and looking better than ever. He got some help from Alex Verdugo. I'm going to start showing the web gems in the actual highlights as opposed to the end of the recap, so let me know if you like this change. But there's Verdugo robbing his former teammate Xander Bogaerts. Paxton, he went 6 with 5 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. He has 14 strikeouts over his first 11 innings. The Yankees and the Reds, so the New York Mets won. Let's see if the New York Yankees can grab a W in Cincinnati. Could you imagine if Aaron Judge played 81 games in Cincinnati? Like, I know New York is a pinball ballpark as well, but Great American in Cincinnati is where baseballs go to die. 7 home runs in his last 7 games. He's got 13 home runs and 133 at-bats, so I think like 1 every 10 at-bats, which is nutty. Anthony Rizzo, he deposited a baseball 424 feet away, his 10th of the year. He has 35 career home runs now against the Reds, dating back to his days with the Cubs. Only thing is, New York, they had to face Jake Fraley with runners in scoring position, which is like facing Barry Bonds on any given day. He splits the gap for a 2-run double. He's hitting 465 with runners in scoring position. Higashioka and Bader, they stepped in to grab those runs back and then some, plating 3 runs in the 9th inning to make it a 6-2 ball game. The Yankees are 7 games over 500 and 7-3 over their last 10. They won 6-2. I had to go back and put this in the video as I was recording. Aaron Hicks, he was DFA'd by the Yankees. They traded for Greg Allen, so you know you've been pretty bad if Greg Allen is going to be the guy over you. But Aaron Hicks gave Yankees fans a ton of memories. He hit 188 on the season, so that's not good at all. But the crazy part is, the Yankees released him after Aaron Hicks hit 350 with a home run and 4 RBIs over the last week. So where's he going to end up? Who knows? You know who else is 7-3 over their last 10? The Baltimore Orioles. I got to show off Matt Chapman's leather first because the dude, he does it all for the Blue Jays. But Chapman, he can't save Yusei on that swing. A monster 3-run blast. That's his 4th career home run already off of Yusei Kikuchi. Santander, he grabbed his 8th home run as Kyle Gibson. He settled in after giving up a run in the 2nd inning. He struck out 5 over 7. Every time Kyle Gibson throws a gem, it kind of blows my mind because I don't think he's that good. Maybe I'm just a hater and I don't get it, but yeah, Kyle Gibson, every time he goes out there and goes 7 innings, blows my mind. Adam Frazier, Miller, he's been an entirely different hitter this year. 3 home runs in 156 games last year. He already has 5 home runs in 44 games this year. The Orioles are 13 games over 500. Shout out to the Baltimore baseball team because they're playing out of their mind. The Braves and the Mariners, Bryce Miller has been untouchable to begin his career, but a lot of people were saying and chalking it up to, hey, he hasn't faced a real team, so here we go. His first real challenge, I'm putting that in air quotes, Miller versus one of the best offenses in baseball, and it did start off a little bit shaky as Matt Olson laced an RBI double down the line, scoring Ronald Acuna Jr. That's okay though, because that's the only run given up by Bryce all day. He got some huge help from his defense. Look at that throw from Michael Harris II. He's really been not so great with the bat, but the defense, it will never slump. Seattle, they ended up tying it on a Eugenio Suarez single, but Atlanta's defense delivered again. Ronald puts on his moon shoes. The Mariners ended up taking the lead anyways, so let's see if the Braves can storm back. Of course they did. Ozuna and Orlando Arcia, they knocked home 2 in the 7th to steal their lead back, and then there's Olson with the backbreaker. His 12th home run of the season. That was followed up by a 2-run RBI single from Marcell Ozuna, who had 3 RBIs on the day. The Mariners, they've been playing good and then bad, good and then bad. They've lost 3 in a row. If you're a Cardinals fan, yeah, this one stings. Like, I'm talking about you just took batting practice and you didn't know that you had a blister and then you put on hand sanitizer. Yeah, like that level of sting. Steven Matz, he was really good, striking out 6 Dodgers in less than 5 innings. He didn't allow a single run to score. Just he was facing Gonzo. Tony Gonsolin is honestly the closest thing to a superstar without actually him being a superstar. 1 hit over 5 shutout. He has a 2.4 career ERA. LA, they ended up breaking through on a CT3 RBI double. I'm hoping that he can stay hot. James Outman, what can't this kid do? There's another web gem under his belt to go along with the insane offense that he's already put up this year. Mookie Betts, he torched a 3-run home run in the 8th. That's his 10th home run, by the way. He also has 13 doubles. Will Smith made it a 5 spot for LA, and the Dodgers improved to 12 games over 500 after starting off fairly slow. They're 8-2 over their last 10. Speaking of starting off slow, the Pittsburgh Pirates were the exact opposite. If I remember correctly, I think they were the 2nd team in baseball to 20 wins, just behind the Tampa Bay Rays, but we all saw what happened the last 2 weeks. They fell off a cliff, but in this one, they were on top of their games. Brian Hayes laced an RBI double in the 2nd, and then Josh Palacios grabbed 2 of his own. Reynolds, he took a bases loaded walk to make it 4-1 when Jack Sawinski nearly cleared them. He doubled in 2 more, and so did Brian Hayes. Only his was on a single, but 2 RBIs nonetheless. This game was huge for the Pittsburgh Pirates' confidence because they didn't just score a bunch of runs on any random pitcher. That was Zach Gallen. Brian Reynolds, he finally connected on a home run, his first in the last 2 or 3 weeks. That 3-run home run broke it open to an 11 spot, while the 25-year-old Johan Oviedo locked in for a solid start. He had 2 hits over 6. He struck out 7. His biggest issue is the walk, and it's not even close. He's almost walking 4.5 per 9 innings. He can be a really good 2 or 3 starter in this league if he can cut those down. The Pirates win big 13-3. The Angels and the Twins, Billy from Stranger Things, aka Joe Ryan, has essentially been untouchable all season long, so any run support is huge for the Halos. Brandon Jury, he finds a hole, and Hunter Renfroe was flying. I mean, he's not crazy fast, but he does unhook the trailer to score from first. The Halos gave Reed Detmers a 3-run cushion, and Reed, he didn't disappoint. Well, at least for the first 5 innings. He had 12 strikeouts through 5 2/3, about as nasty as you can get from a starting pitcher. The only problem is he did allow a few runners to get on, and the bullpen could not bail him out. Farmer and Kirilloff combined to plate 3 in the 6th inning, completely ruining a masterclass from Detmers, and oh no. There goes the lead. Willie Castro, he struck out 3 times, but he made that at-bat count. He pimped one. His 2nd home run of the year steals the lead, but the Halos, they had some gas left in the tank. The number 1 overall pick back in 2016, he delivers. We're talking about Mickey, no, not Mouse, Mickey Moniak. He robs a home run in the 7th and then ties it at 4-4 on an RBI 3-bagger as Hunter Renfroe, he clutches up yet again. He grabs the lead back. Carlos Estevez, he strikes out 2. The Angels win 5-4, and also Estevez has 11 saves. That's a lot. So the Angels have won 2 in a row, which is great considering the Astros have now won 5 in a row. It could be 7 after the series against the Oakland Athletics, but Kyle Tucker, have yourself a day, kid. That's a huge 2 RBI double to grab the lead in the 4th. More on him in just a second because I do have to show this web gem. JJ Bleday flew into the left center field gap. He saves Oakland from a monster Astros inning. He robbed Martin Maldonado with the bases loaded to end the threat. Anyways, Brandon Bielak, he carved his way through 5, striking out 9 A's over 5. Hello? That's some nasty stuff. And in steps Kyle Tucker again. I guess they call him King Tuck, and I can see why. 7 home runs, 31 RBIs. I just hope that the defense improves because Kyle Tucker could have his best season in baseball this year if he turns that around. Bregman with a little last-minute RBI just for fun. Houston, they've won 5 in a row as they beat the A's 5-1. We can't not talk about the Rangers after showing both the Angels and Astros highlights. Dude, this guy won't stop. Adolis Garcia did it again. 14 home runs and 41 RBIs. He's on pace for 52 home runs and 180 RBIs. Corey Seager, he's going to fully unlock this Rangers offense. There he is plating 2 on a 2-run double, which was immediately followed by a 2-run double from the rookie Josh Young. Martin Perez, he finally got his bounce back start that he's been looking for. He allowed 11 earned runs in his previous 2 combined. He struck out 7 over 7, allowing just 2 earned runs, so that's a quality start. This game ends on an Adolis Garcia web gem because of course it does. The Rangers are still fighting and trying to stay alive in first place. They're 10 games over 500 and still 2 games ahead of first place over the Astros. The Rays and the Brewers, it brings me so much joy to see this Josh Lowe kid having a breakout season. Not because I have a ton of his cards or anything. Okay, that's exactly. I bought a ton of Josh Lowe cards, but him being good is great for baseball fans, unless you're a Brewers fan over the next few days. Holy seed from right field. It can't get more perfect than that. I mean, the defense, the offense has been spectacular. There's more defense. In my opinion, Jose Siri is a top 3 defensive outfielder in baseball. He's top 2% in speed and arm. The dude covers more ground than really anyone in baseball. I do want to give a tip of the cap to Adrian Hauser of the Brewers, who shut down the vaunted Tampa Bay offense over 6. He was matching Shane McClanahan pitch for pitch. Shane struck out 7 over 7 scoreless, so he was just a little bit better. He has a 2.05 ERA on the season. I know it's not super exciting, but that right there, that's the game. Francisco Mejia's sac fly in the 8th was all Tampa Bay needed as Pete Fairbanks, he nailed down his 4th save of the year, sending the Tampa Bay Rays to a 33-13 record, 20 games over 500. The Cubs and the Phillies, Chicago was trying to snap their 5-game losing streak, and it looked like they were going to get that because Nick Madrigal's 2-run single kind of broke it open. Well, not fully broke it open, but you know what I mean. They stole the momentum, and then they just really capitalized on that. Nico Horner had a 2-run double right after. Nico Horner said, yeah, I like that. I want to do it again. He ripped his second 2-run double later in the 5th inning. He's hitting .310 with 23 RBIs and 12 stolen bases with the great defense. I mean, he's been amazing. Marcus Stroman was making Philly hitters uncomfortable all night long, allowing just 3 base hits over 6. He did it on 88 pitches, and my God, this kid is playing angry. Christopher Morel blasted off for the 6th time in 9 games. He's only played in 9 games because he didn't make the opening day roster, and that's why he's playing angry. He is taking his anger out on baseballs because the Cubs sent him down. So the Phillies lose big 8-1, and frustrations are boiling. As we can see, Alec Boehm, he is tossing equipment in the dugout after that loss. Both teams are now 20-24. I cannot wait to recap this one. Zach McKinstry, he put the Tigers up early, like first hitter of the game early. Andy Ibanez, he added to the lead, and so does Akil Baddoo. The bad man singled home Riley Green and then did even more damage in the 3rd. A 415-foot 3-run bomb. I can't believe that's only his first of the year because he clearly has pop. He does have 4 stolen bases and a 340 on base percentage, so I guess he's just trying to work on the approach. Matt Vierling, he homered in the 5th, and good thing he did that because he legitimately ruined a no-hitter. Now, before I show that, there's Riley Green's 4th home run. That ball was in the air for like 7 to 8 seconds. Anyways, back to the no-hitter. Bro just flat out missed it. I mean, Matt Vierling, I don't know if it got caught in the lights or something, but that was the first base hit off of Boyd, and then that hurts right there. The no-hitter, the shutout, all gone in the blink of an eye. The Washington Nationals do end up losing 8-6 as Alex Lang, he secured his 8th save of the year. The White Sox and the Royals, 3 straight hits put Chicago up by 1, the 3rd coming off the bat of Gavin Sheets, and they ended up with 2 after a sac fly. You know how we just saw Matthew Boyd take a no-hitter into the 6th? Well, Michael Kopech, he was just as unhittable. He had a perfect game through 5 innings. Unfortunately, though, it did get ruined by a Michael Massey single, but he didn't let that phase him at all. 8 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts, just 1 base hit. This is what we expected from Michael Kopech. This is why everyone always hypes up the White Sox, because on paper, Lucas Giolito, Lance Lynn, Michael Kopech, Dylan Cease, on paper, that's a fantastic rotation. They have a lot of star players on offense. Graveman had his 3rd save of the year. I mean, I don't know if the White Sox are going to turn this into a, full-blown win streak, but they are good on paper. And they're getting Liam Hendricks back pretty soon, so maybe that helps as well. I hate saying this out loud, but Sandy Alcantara does not look like the same guy this year. Like, he's been both good and bad. This time versus the Giants, I mean, to me, he wasn't good. Mitch Haniger had an RBI double in the 4th to break the scoring stalemate, and after Miami took the lead momentarily, San Francisco, they made their comeback. The sac fly is underrated. They scored 2 on 2 of those things, so the Giants grabbed the lead back again on some sac flies, and Casey Schmidt, the rookie, ripped a single to cap off a 3-run 6th inning. And good thing that he did, because Brian De La Cruz, who doubled earlier in the game, he homered in the 8th inning. He has a 15-game hitting streak. He's hitting .500 with 7 extra base hits and 7 RBIs over his last 6 games. Trevor Rogers, he struck out Garrett Hampson and closed this one out, sending Sandy Alcantara to a 1-5 record. He has an ugly 5.05 ERA over 9 starts. That does it for today's MLB recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed me putting the web gems in the actual recap itself instead of waiting until the end. So if you guys like that, leave 2 thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.